nitubatangira muno kuhuliriza iraka lya Bunyoro kuruga kuno mu diaspora hano mu TGN Radio. nitubatangira muno kuhuliriza iraka lya Bunyoro kuruga kuno mu diaspora hano mu TGN Radio. nitubatangira muno kuhuliriza iraka lya Bunyoro kuruga kuno mu diaspora hano mu TGN Radio.
Another plantain treatment production. Grim Island Records. Oh na 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 na. Yeah yeah. His highest king just to be born among the king and me. No more about Tangoza, Kimanye. Enjoy every to be busa busa. Enjoy every to be busa busa. Born among the king and me. No more about Tangoza, Kimanye. Enjoy every to be busa busa. Enjoy every to be busa busa. Usala nekisa nemba bazitiboli banogenda kunde kongambiraga. Tetero mnakta yotekia. Okugonza kirwaire n'obujanja batikikira. Musaya kagamba kayaka kandi kona kandi kugamba kotamanyire. Olikyo obuguda kyange kitagonza kindoge onkafadha nesapure. Sabotungira kasumi okusaba kwange nukwo mutima gwange gutekane. Olabongoza kingambe n'obula batangoza kimanye. Njoyire ebitu by'okubuzabuza. Njoyire ebitu by'okubuzabuza. Olabongoza kingambe n'obula batangoza kimanye. Njoyire ebitu by'okubuzabuza. Njoyire ebitu by'okubuzabuza nyowe. Tindi msigati mubi munakirayo. Goza ntali murungi munasingayo. N'obumuterera akasimu kange tokakuwaca n'obwoka kuwaca nga mbora amaradi. Tera makasisa n'oli nyowe. N'ebyokulya nibikulema oli nkanyowe. Ntaha mutaito munonke wasa. N'obwonsibira omunajjo nsangamu enkyabwe erimu omuyitira ine omugamba kugonza kiba kugura mu katale. Olabongoza kingambe n'obula batangoza kimanye. Njoyire ebintu by'okubuzabuza. Njoyire ebintu by'okubuzabuza. Olabongoza kingambe n'obula batangoza kimanye. Njoyire ebintu by'okubuzabuza. Njoyire ebintu by'okubuzabuza nyowe. Utera kasimu tokakwata. Bukutumira abantu tobahura. Bupandika kabaruha tokasoma. Omutima gwange ninyalikira. Ni wewe kawungoza omutima. Goza simbi bejozi singira. Kugonza nk'ekihiro kerino. Onsi yange ekihiro kenyuza. Omutima gwange ikarotekane. Kesa ikalira omuterekero kya. Olabongoza kingambe n'obula batangoza kimanye. Njoyire ebintu by'okubuzabuza. Njoyire ebintu by'okubuzabuza. Olabongoza kingambe n'obula batangoza kimanye. Njoyire ebintu by'okubuzabuza. Njoyire ebintu by'okubuzabuza nyowe. Usaba nekisa nemba bazitiboli banogenda kundeko ngambiraga. Tetero mnakta yotekia. Okugonza kirwaire n'obujanja batikikira. Musaya kagamba kayaka kandi kona kandi kugamba kotamanyire. Olikyo obuguda kyange kintagonza kindoge onkafadha nesapule. Sabotungira kasumi okusaba kwange nukwo mutima gwange gutekane. Olabongoza kingambe n'obula batangoza kimanye. Njoyire ebintu by'okubuzabuza. Njoyire ebintu by'okubuzabuza. Olabongoza kingambe n'obula batangoza kimanye. Njoyire ebintu by'okubuzabuza. Njoyire ebintu by'okubuzabuza nyowe.
Mwezi yola musamba.
Hello, Hello, you're most welcome, our viewers, and thank you so much for tuning in. Hairaka lya Bunyoro Diaspora, the voice of Bunyoro in the diaspora. This is Caroline Ajuna Chibuka Atenyi, your host or presenter of Hairaka lya Bunyoro Diaspora. Mwebale muno kutuninga ini ba viewers baitu na ba listeners baitu nkabulikiro tusemerwe muno kuba hamna inywe tonight. Hati nitugenda kuba ntutandika program yaitu akazina mukaboine ako mukuru ogo kabaire kazina karungi muno kionka. Hati nitugenda kuba ntutandika Hairaka lya show yaitu kia lero ninja kuba ni bagambira guest waitu is coming. And just to remind our viewers and listeners that Hairaka lya Bunyoro Diaspora is presented in two languages, that is English, Runyoro, the language spoken by the people from Bunyoro Kingdom in the western part of Uganda. Just as a reminder, as always, last week we are looking at naming Empako ceremony in Bunyoro, and the Vice President of Bunyoro-Kitara, US, was able to take us through how that amazing function is done in Bunyoro. Now, today, we are privileged to be hosting a very important guest. Why is he important? It's because he's a friend of Bunyoro, and he's amazing because he was able to go and visit Bunyoro. And so he became very interested in that motherland of ours. So today he's going to be with us, and he is also a journalist. So you can imagine, we are so privileged to have him on the show. But before we go any further, ne show yaitu enu nko bumbagambire omugenyi utwina today munywani wa Bunyoro. Akagenda yabunga Bunyoro munsi yona akakoma Bunyoro yagenda kubunga kandi wa mahure. Hati ni tugenda kuba playingirayo akaklipu of his visit obwakaba ali mu Bunyoro. Then we'll start from there.
Pray to the king of Bunyoro.
That is the Omukama.
Solomon Gafau Saiguru.
Tell us about viewers in London watching this program now about Bunyoro Kingdom briefly.
About
The Bunyoro Kingdom.
the Bunyoro Kingdom is in western Uganda. It's an ancient kingdom. It's been around maybe for 2 or 3 millenniums. We have a very, very rich history. And we were unfortunate. We ran foul of the colonial forces of occupation. They destroyed our kingdom in the 1890s. They destroyed the economy. They massacred people. And some of these wrongs, some of these historical errors have never been addressed to date.
What's the present position of the kingdom now?
On
Anything, because there are a lot of Bunyoro watching this program in London. Presumably there's something you want to tell them.
well, what we're looking at is to revive Bunyoro, to build a new Bunyoro, to encourage our people to come home. Many Bunyoro live in their diaspora. We want them to come home and help to rebuild the country.
Thank you very much. Have you got a website?
Yes, we have a website. It's simply enter Bunyoro-Kitara.
Hati niwogwo omunywani wa Bunyoro mumuboine already hakaklipwa ko nabazano mukuru Yoramu Nsamba nkobwa bagambire position yo mu kingdom. Hati ningenda kumuintroducinga ababeho n'obugambo buke obwakubaza nainywe. I'm going to be introducing our friend of Bunyoro, who is our guest tonight. And I just want to introduce him to you, and then I will ask him to say more about himself, and then we'll begin the show. Mzee Ayubu, shikamo.
Yeah, marhaba.
Asante kwa unasharibwa. Asante kwa kubali kwa hapa. Tunafurahi kwa nawe hapa kwa sauti ya Bunyoro Diaspora. You're most welcome with that brief Swahili. I am not very good at Swahili, but I have managed to say a little bit. I hope I've got it right, because I know you are very fluent in this language. So with that brief welcome, could you just introduce yourself to our viewers and tell us more about yourself, Mzee Ayubu?
Hello, thank you so much for having me. My name is AYOB MZEE. I'm the director of New Deal Africa, or the CEO and founder of New Deal Africa. But at the same time, I'm a broadcaster and a journalist. I travel around the world. I'm proud to say that I've visited almost the 54 countries of the Commonwealth and almost 90% of the whole world in the course of my duty as a broadcaster and a journalist, and my specialty in doing documentaries. And the purpose of New Deal Africa is that we are trying to release the potential of Africa to be seen in another version that is projected by the West. And this is what we try and do at New Deal Africa.
Amazing. You have traveled how many countries?
I have traveled 54 countries of the Commonwealth and 90% of the whole world.
Wow, amazing. As you have heard, Mr. Mzee Ayubu is a traveler, he's a journalist, he's a friend of Bunyoro, he's everything. We're very excited to have you here on the Voice of Bunyoro in the diaspora. Mzee Akiki, I'm just going to, Ayubu, I'm just going to ask you just to see. We're calling you a friend of Bunyoro. Do you have Mpako? Mpako is praise name.
Yeah, my Mpako is Akiki.
Oh, wow. Akiki. Webale mno kuija Akiki. Thank you so much for coming, Akiki. Just with curiosity, who gave you that Mpako?
I was given that Mpako by my friends in Bunyoro. Given the fact that I'm a friend of Bunyoro, I've got a very good relationship with Bunyoro Kingdom.
Yes. Did they do any function for you to give you that Mpako?
I did the function myself in my hotel after the anointment.
Amazing. You know, we have a function that we discussed last week. When you're being given Mpako, what you've got to do. So I was thinking you went through that traditional, but unfortunately you did it yourself in the hotel.
Yeah, we had a very tight schedule, and I know they were organizing for a ceremony, but we had a very tight schedule where we had to go and visit other places, and our aim was to promote the tourism in Bunyoro, and we had to concentrate on what was on the table that was promoting tourism in Bunyoro.
Amazing. So you missed the function. So next time you return, I'm sure you will return, we will do the function, and I'll be the one leading, making sure we give you a name. Now that you have a pet name, we'll give you, or a praise name, or Mpako will give you a name. Now,
I want a name and a wife as well from Bunyoro.
You didn't get a wife?
I didn't know I was in a hurry.
Oh dear. Okay, we will plan that. I'm sure the Minister of Culture, is it the Culture, Social, whatever, who deal with giving people wives, is listening to this program. So then they will start looking for a wife for our friend of Bunyoro. Hati, this is Hati means now. Why did you choose Bunyoro in all places in Uganda or even in the world? Why didn't you go to Ankole? Why did you choose Bunyoro in particular?
Bunyoro has got a strategic place in Uganda history, including the fact that is where oil has been found in Uganda, that is in Hoima, and that because of the historical significance of the Bunyoro-Kitara kingdom.
Yes.
And then we have a situation whereby we have a lot of tourist attractions in Bunyoro, which include like the Makishan Falls, which includes the Para Safari Lodge. Then we have got the Chobe. there's quite a lot of interesting things to see in Bunyoro. So Bunyoro and Kasese are the two places I visited because of their strategic importance. But I think that Bunyoro took the lead on this, on my journey to Uganda.
Wow, you have heard our viewers the reason why Akiki Ayubu decided, and I'm going to be calling you Akiki because we prefer to use our empacos because it's a significant name that we all treasure as Banyoros. So I will keep calling you Akiki. Don't forget your praise name. Hati, as our viewers, you've heard Akiki has told us Bunyoro was strategic because of the Action Falls, because of the different strategic place in which it is located. Whereas some of us think Bunyoro, we there just have nothing. Look, a man from UK. I actually forgot to tell people why I had to use some Swahili. Is Mzee AYOB AKIIKI is from, is it Tanzania? Yeah, he's from Tanzania, Moshi. And so that's why we need to be proud of Bunyoro. So you've given us a few of the places that you visited. Our lucky number is 9. Could we say you could name the best 9 places you visited while you were in Bunyoro, if it's possible? Because Bunyoro, 9 is our lucky number. Our king, the stool of our king was 9. The Mpango, when they are installing another king, the drum on Mpango drum has to drum 9 times. Everything seems to be 9. So can you tell us about 9 if you're able to tell us the sites you visited so that other viewers can see and know what Bunyoro has?
I will start with the Budongo forest, then I will go to the River Nile and the gorge. Then I would love to mention the drives. Then I would love to mention the Makishan Falls, without forgetting the Masindi Hotel. Masindi Hotel is so strategic.
Yeah.
I think one of the kings of Britain stayed in Masindi Hotel.
I know, yeah.
And then we have Bernard Shaw, a famous writer, wrote some of his books in Masindi Hotel.
Yes.
Then we have the film of Toro, of the Queen of
Toro?
That is the Queen of Toro. That film was made in Bunyoro while they were filming.
Yes.
They stayed at a Masindi Hotel.
Amazing.
It's such a strategic place that I visited, and I became part of that history.
Wow.
If the King of England stayed in Masindi Hotel in Bunyoro, of all places, that means if it's good for the king, it's good for me. Number 2, during colonial time, Bunyoro was a strategic place, especially Masindi Hotel. It was a connection between, I think the colonialists used it as a strategic place when they are going to the Congo, or they're going to the Sudan, or coming down the other side, Boga Zaire. They used Masindi or Bunyoro as a strategic town, as a halfway house where they could come and stay and refresh and then move on.
Yes.
So I think I've spoken about Chobe. Chobe is a place that I went. I could see the crocodiles. I could see the Nile from my room. It's a very nice place to go there. The food is beautiful. I've got matoke and bitakuli and all those other things.
Yeah.
I enjoy the fruits.
Akaro.
Yeah, then you've got Lake Albert at the back.
Yes.
Then you have got, I spoke about the oil in Uganda, is found in Hoima. I visited all that. And the scenery is beautiful as well. You just see the scenery, you see the people, the cows and cattle and other animals. It's a beautiful place. You can just drive around Bunyoro and enjoy your holiday.
Amazing.
People are not in a hurry like other places.
Amazing. Amazing.
That's why I did enjoy myself. I think I've made the 9. I'm lucky.
You've made the 9. You really made the 9. So that qualifies you to be a friend of Bunyoro. Because once you make 9 in Bunyoro, we're happy with you. I am intrigued about Masindi Hotel. I actually read somewhere, and you've told us what happened in Masindi Hotel. I'm sure most of our viewers may not even have known that the King of England spent a night there. there's so many, the film was acted there. What I know about Masindi Hotel is that it is the oldest hotel in the whole country. It was built, I think, around 1923, if I'm not wrong. I'm sure people will correct me if I am. But it is one of the oldest hotel, and it is amazing to go and visit such a place, and you do some documentary. I'm sure you did one, which I want, if you don't mind, unless you have something you want to tell us more about Masindi, we could play a clip so that people get to know actually what we are talking about, if that's fine with you, Mr. Akiki AYOB. Is that all right?
That's okay with me. I'm all ears and way eyes.
Thank you.
And what's the update that we've got? But then, any update? No, at the moment we are like on about halfway.
Sorry, our viewers, as we are looking for the Masindi Hotel, we are instead going to be playing for you the Maction Falls. Mzee AYOB has also talked about it, Maction Falls, which is actually Maction Falls is a game park in Masindi. It is the largest game park in Uganda. Can you believe that? There is Mzee AYOB going. You can, when you go to Masindi, be sure of seeing the big, 4 of the big five. When I talk about the big 5, I know our viewers are connecting with me. So we have the 4 of them in Masindi: the lion, the elephant, the buffalo, and what else? I have forgotten the number 4. You're sure to have that in Maction Falls Park if you go there in Maction Falls in Masindi. And as you are seeing, our viewer has been in Maction Falls, and he's going to take us through what he saw in Maction Falls as we look for the Masindi Hotel clip. Mr. AYOB?
Yeah, before I start unpacking on the Maction Falls, I'd like to comment that the videos that you are showing are not showing on the screen. I don't know whether that's the plan or something. I can't see any videos being played, including the first one we did with the Kingdom Chief.
Okay.
But what I would like to say now is that we do have Maction Falls. Where you come to Maction Falls, you get on the launch, which is like a small ship, but they call them launches. After getting on the launches, then you go all the way, passing through game, flora and fauna.
Wow.
They are beautiful birds,
Yes.
beautiful animals living side by side, crocodiles, hippos, impala, buffaloes, like you mentioned, the big 5. The big 5 is the lion, I think a tiger, I think elephant,
Yes.
and I think you'll mention, we'll get the 5 as we go. But before we go there, there is a ferry that you have got to go on.
Yes.
Across the river, beautiful ferry. You can spend the whole day there without leaving the ferry because it's beautiful. You get to see the scenery. You get to see the Nile flowing into Sudan.
Wow,
up to
amazing.
Egypt. So you have got the left flank and the right flank. I think it's on the left flank that there is quite a lot of animals that you see. You just pass them and you have got to see how the Nile cut itself through earth. Beautiful scenery. I think when you play the videos, you'll see some of them. But then you come to the falls itself. Is such an amazing, amazing, amazing structure.
Yes.
You just see the falls. It's so amazing. I'm not surprised that the Churchill said Uganda is the pearl of Africa, because when you visit, like the Maction Falls in Bunyoro, you will never forget what you have seen for your entire life.
Amazing.
So I do propose for anyone watching this program, whether you're Ugandan, friend of Uganda, or European, or wherever you are watching this program, Google the word Maction Falls, go and visit Maction Falls. Maction Falls is in Bunyoro Kingdom.
Amazing. That is Akiki, our friend of Bunyoro, Ndugu wa Bunyoro. He has told us exactly what you get when you go to Maction Falls Park. And the falls are so, he also explained how beautiful the falls are. And I'm meant to understand that we have over 450 species of birds on the Maction Falls. That's how beautiful Maction Falls is. And this is situated not any other place, but in Masindi, that is in the western part of Uganda, known as Bunyoro. Akiki, I normally appreciate our viewers. We have so many people who have tuned in. They are so excited that you have been able to be with us today as Ndugu wa Bunyoro. I just want to appreciate them, and then it will help us also to be more interactive, as you suggested when we were beginning the show. And maybe they could ask a few questions if they want, and then I will let you know what they are asking or they want you to tell them. And we will be going off for the break within after like half an hour, 3 minutes from now. So that's why I want to appreciate our viewers before we actually move on. Tugume Ben is okay. Thank you so much, Team TGM. You're welcome. Kato Tom, welcome TGM, watching from Iganga in Uganda. Wow. I'm Munyoro from Kisunga Hoima. I enjoy your program. Thank you, Tom, for tuning in. Please continue following us. Paul Bukuku joined as well. Alisa Tenya Tugonza Umkaikuranzara. Thank you for tuning in. Annette Kabanyoro, webale naiwe kutuninga ini. Bojo inyo mwebale kutufollowinga. Alice, how are you all? I am enjoying my journey. Wow, amazing. Daisy Biaruhanga, Amot Daisy Biaruhanga. Thank you for tuning in. We want a public university in Bunyoro. Join the campaign on WhatsApp. That is a friend Ndugu wa Bunyoro. People are saying here you join the campaign. We want a public university. And as a journalist, I think you can help us with that. And many other people are tuning in. I just want to see if people are asking questions. Bojo, Abanyoro, Nabanyoro Kati, Naba friends ask Akiki, a friend wa Bunyoro Mumukaguze, Abagambire, the beauty that he saw when he went in Bunyoro. And please join us. Our chairperson of Bunyoro-Kitara Development Association, Hadija Kisembo Mbabazi, is saying, welcome Akiki, and thank you for being a friend of Bunyoro. That is our chairperson of Bunyoro-Kitara Development Association. You are welcome to be part of us, part of that charity, or Akiki, if you want. And many other people are tuning in. Now, Akiki, you've told us the beauty of Maction Falls. You've told us the beauty of Masindi and how important Masindi is, why it was very strategic, for the colonial rule. And you have actually given us a clear picture. In all those mentioned, you mentioned 9, you mentioned Budongo Forest, you mentioned Lake Albert, you mentioned the oil. I don't know whether you are able to visit the oil area as well. In all those 9 strategic sites you gave us, which one would you say to Bunyoro when we are presenting ourselves out there we should be proud of and not miss out talking about when we are trying to sell Bunyoro, because this is the reason why we are here today?
That's a very hard one for me, because when I was driving into Bunyoro Kingdom, it was really amazing for me. I was like a child who is eating a cake on his birthday.
Yeah.
As you're driving into Bunyoro, especially Masindi, then you get these, there are like 2 hills.
Wow.
Quite eye-catching. They remind me of Tororo, rocks of Tororo. Very eye-catching. Then you come into Masindi. When you come into Masindi, like I told you that it is Masindi Hotel that caught my eyes.
Yes.
After catching my eyes, the hospitality, the people themselves, and then we went to Budongo. Because I like nature and I'm an environmentalist, I liked Budongo, and I would like to add on that Masindi, I think, is the only place, if I'm not wrong, I think I'll be corrected by tourist experts, whereby you can enjoy your holiday with nature.
Yes.
When you go to Budongo Forest.
True.
Because that we call that ecotourism. I just saw what nature means in itself when I went into Budongo Forest.
Amazing.
I thought that you are playing with nature, but you see lovely animals like some monkeys and baboons and all that. They are cohabiting with people. It's such a beautiful place for you to sit down and rewind, especially if you're from abroad, you're from London.
Yeah.
From your hectic life, you can just go and sit somewhere in Budongo Forest and relax.
Wow.
Then that one, but my best eye catch that I can tell is still the Makisian Falls. Because Makisian Falls is accompanied by the nearest hotel is Para. We could see elephants from our rooms because some of the rooms have got glasses. You just look into the valley. They could come up to the hotel. I remember one day they came to my window.
Yes.
And I say, this is amazing. I've never seen an animal very, very close. Then in the evening, you've got folk songs. There's local groups who come and play and dance. I think you'll see some of the videos I provided. They are not playing. I don't know whether your viewers are seeing them.
Yes.
Because if I can't see them, then your viewers are not seeing them. They are local, but Bunyoro playing folk songs of Bunyoro, very, very touching. Yes. And you could see us dancing and with tourists and all that. So that is my highlight of Bunyoro. But with Bunyoro, you don't know what to take and what to leave. It's just like you are being given a birthday party. You don't know what to eat or to leave. So that is Bunyoro for me.
Wow, you are truly a friend of Bunyoro. While you're talking about Bunyoro, I felt like crying because I seem not to know what we have in Bunyoro. But today you have really shown us that we are proud to be in Bunyoro, and I will take on. And you see, just to let our viewers know the reason why today I have changed my attire, I will be giving you the reason. And one of the reasons is that I am proud to be wearing Kabalega. We are going off for a break right now. We will be returning with Akiki atugambire again more about Bunyoro. Nkobo Mukurora, as he's talking about Bunyoro, he's so excited. So stay with us and we'll be coming back after the break. Akuhumura, bye for now.
Any update? No, at the moment we are like on about halfway to the bottom of the falls, and around this spot, actually, what we see, we look at plenty of hippos. When you look at the northern section, I mean the northern section, you see that the area is so shallow that most of the animals prefer to get easy access onto the land easily. And that's why you saw so many hippos very much relaxed, so many antelopes, so many buffaloes, and the rest of it, and few bird species.
From here?
This done.
Yeah, where does this river go to?
This river basically begins from Lake Victoria, and then flows through Lake Kyoga, comes to Karama Falls, then to Murchison Falls, then on the way, yes, going to Lake Albert. Then from Lake Albert, it will turn sharply to the north, then flows through Sudan, up to Ethiopia, then up to Mediterranean Sea.
So Sudan is this way, or that Egypt?
Sudan, Egypt is this way.
Egypt is this way.
Exactly.
So the Nile comes from this way and goes all. Cool.
Victor Mkambi.
Ni bara nzuri sana yenye nchi mbalimbali,
Nioyo
mashariki, magharibi kote, kaskazini na kusini kote, wanyama mbalimbali wa kupendeza, milima na mabonde ya kuvutia. Oh, leo Afrika.
Daladala Camp.
Tulee vizazi vyetu vijavyo, tuwe na amani. Oweleyo,
Almasi Mzazi.
oweleyo, oweleyo, Afrika.
Salumu Mpikita.
Oweleyo, 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 Afrika.
Wana Kigoma, Kipanga, wana Mwanga, wana Ujiji, wana Mwandiga, sikia mambo. Papa Mtumwa, Sadiki Bilikana, Dr. Mzee wa Chesa, Mwembe Chai.
Wazee wa Merelani. Wazee wa Arusha, wazee wa Mwanza. Nobas Manoko. Endelea mbele. Freddy, makumbusho. Wastaarabu wa makumbusho. Ubina, Nagaye, Majaliwa, Daudi Breakpoint, Hidaya Mkango. Africa.
Hello, our viewers. Mwebaleyo ha break. Aegionio Maction Falls. Tubaire nitubapuleingira omuhanga kuhumura. Ningenda hati kuba ningara omukuru Akiiki ayongere kutugambiraho biki ebitwa ebiyaboine obuyabaire omubunyoro nko bwabanyumize Masindi hotel. We are still looking for the clip, but we will be making sure we produce it. If we don't, then we promise we will do so again, because this is a very important clip to show, being that Masindi Hotel is the oldest hotel we have in Uganda. And you have heard who slept in that hotel. It is important that people get to see what Masindi Hotel looks like. Hatinko bumbagambire ntakagenzere hakuhumura. The reason why I have put on Kabalega t-shirt today, I normally put on Mzee Akiki. I normally put on our traditional way. I think you know it, a suka. But today I decided to be casual because I knew you would not understand my culture, my dressing, although you've been in Bunyoro, and I wanted to be like you. So I decided to put on Kabalega because we are launching a series of Kabalega omutalindwa worukurato rwa Bunyoro Kingdom omukuru Akiki Kalembe aija kuba natandika to talk about Kabalega. And I know in one of your clips you mentioned Kabalega, and I was intrigued to know, why did you mention Kabalega? Because Kabalega it's been gone many years ago. But when you were talking about, you were interviewing Mzee Yoram Nsamba, in our first clip we played, you talked about Kabalega. Was there any reason why?
Now, you see, with people who follow history and tradition, it's important to say that when you say Kabaka is the face of Buganda Kingdom, you can't say anything about Bunyoro Kingdom without saying Kabalega.
I know.
And Kabalega has got significance in the history of the Bunyoro. I think is the most important king in the lineage of the Bunyoro Kingdom.
Yes.
So the issue here is that you can't say Bunyoro and forget Kabalega, then you are lost.
I know.
Kabalega is the one who put Bunyoro on the map.
Yes. And
Yeah.
And the current king, I don't know, do you know the current king, or do you want me to remind you of our current king, who is a great godson of Kabalega, because the father was the king, a son to Omukama Kabalega, and then he's the great grandson of the of that Omukama Kabalega, who is Rukirabasaija Dr. Agutamba Solomon Iguru the First. That is our current king. And you're right, when we talk about Bunyoro, anyone everywhere anyone who has read the history of Bunyoro, the first person in their mind is Omukama Kabalega. And we are proud. I just want to tell you about ourselves because I'm so excited. You've talked about Bunyoro very passionately, and I want you to know why we are very proud to be Banyoros as well. Kabalega, when you say I am a Bunyoro, you have to say I am Kabalega's son or daughter. And then we end by saying Kabalega Lega, Kabalega Lega. And that's why you see I'm putting on this Kabalega t-shirt. We are launching his series, what he did. Many people want to know about him. So the speaker of the Rukurato where you visited is going to be starting this series next week. So that's why I'm dressed differently. Our viewers might say, oh, our Caroline is now no longer interested in our culture. No, I am, but I need to catch up with the current situation as well. Hati Akiiki, already otugambira why the reason why you mentioned Kabalega. I'm glad you did hit the nail. That's why we are proud to be Banyoros, because of that great man. And his grandson, the current king, has done a good job. He has maintained the kingship, and we are still proud to be Banyoros because it's one of the greatest kings as well in Bunyoro, in Uganda currently. We only have 3 Bunyoro king, the Buganda king, and the Toro king. Those are the 3 kings we have in Bunyoro. I don't know, I'm sorry, and the Busoga. But the Busoga come from us anyway. So you have, could you just, do you have any comments about the economic growth of Bunyoro and how the media could play a part to it? As you already told us, Bunyoro was economic country. So could you comment on the economic growth, what you saw in Bunyoro when you went there economically?
I could say one thing that what I'm going to say, I'm developing this point from what somebody said from your readers about the University of Bunyoro.
Yes.
These such initiatives, they start from people.
Amazing.
And after starting from people themselves, then the establishment will come and help you from wherever you are.
Yes.
So I put this challenge to the Bunyoro people. What is it that you are doing so that people can come on board and show us and say this is where we are, but we want you to help us to do this. That is where we should be, what we should be talking about. When I came into Bunyoro Kingdom, I saw the fertile land, the alluvial soils. Bunyoro can feed Uganda if they are very serious about farming. I think Bunyoro should move from subsistence farming to much more economic farming because they have got the land, and the land is good for cultivation, and it's not so hilly that you won't have tractors going through. I could see it was good land for modern farming.
Yes.
I have a friend who lived in East London. He was a cab driver. He's not from Bunyoro, but he has gone and lived in Bunyoro very, very well. And he says Bunyoro is good for business because he's doing farming. He has got some cattle and some sheep, and he got married in Bunyoro, then moved in Bunyoro. So if people can go who are not from Bunyoro, he's a Muganda man, I think, from Buganda region. If he can go and become a successful farmer, you can do it as well.
Amazing.
So you as an organization, you should start from here and educate your people and start this movement they have started through your radio and tell people your vision of how to work together and put things together. Putting a university is a very simple job. You can start a foundation, then you'll get help. You can even call the president and say, we have a foundation. You write to him.
Yes.
You have a foundation. Can you do something? But it's very, very hard if you have nothing and expect somebody to do it for you. Put there just a foundation.
Yes.
After putting their foundation, you will see people start coming and say, oh, these people are very serious. How can we help them? Write to the president, write to the prime minister. You will see which response you will get. That's all I can say about that. Try and do some investment forums on Bunyoro. Take some trade delegations from the UK to Bunyoro and see what they can do. It's you Bunyoro people who can develop Bunyoro, not anybody from outside Bunyoro.
Amazing. Wow. Muhulire Akiki friend undugu wa Bunyoro Akiki byabagambire. One, he has pointed out, he has hit the nail again. Bunyoro is fertile. Fertile land we have in Bunyoro should be used very, very well. He has told us people, he has a friend who is a Muganda, but he has gone in Bunyoro, he's doing farming, and he's made it. So it is us, the Bunyoro people, to make what we want out of our motherland. Since it's fertile, we should go for farming. We should go for cooperatives. I know one of one of our friends of Bunyoro who is a lord. He's in the Lords, and we have friends of Bunyoros in the parliament in the UK has said we need cooperatives back in Bunyoro for us to be able to cultivate or grow ebintu omubwingi. Habwokuba itaka lyaitu liri lirungi muno nk'omunywani waitu nk'obwatugambire Akiki atugambire we can only do things when we do ourselves. First it's from us, then people will help us. We set up foundations, mutandike a university eitukubazaho hanu bya Mukama Soul King. Our friend Indugu wa Bunyoro has told us it is us to start doing these things, then we will be helped. But we cannot expect other people to do this. And that's why you're telling us to join the campaign. Webale muno Ndugu wa Bunyoro for giving us those ideas and for pointing out the most important thing we have in Bunyoro, true, is the fertile land. My grandfather was a farmer, and I know we had fertile land where I come from, and that is no excuse. We have it, and thank you for pointing it out for us as a friend of Bunyoro. Hati, as a friend of Bunyoro, what part can the journalist play in growing Bunyoro? Because we have people who are journalists in Bunyoro, we have radio stations, we have TV stations. Here at TGM, at the Voice of Bunyoro, what can we do, in the media industry, to help Bunyoro grow as a journalist?
First of all, I would like to comment, and I'm sorry if I'll offend people with what I'm going to say. Since I left Bunyoro, the only time I heard about Bunyoro again was when a lady was kidnapped in Bunyoro, and I think she was killed. They are from Bunyoro region, I think. And that's when I started hearing about Bunyoro. And I said, why is the sons of Bunyoro quiet about Bunyoro? Because Bunyoro has got a story to tell, and nobody is telling this story. You need to tell the world. I'm very happy to appear on this platform, whereby we are discussing Bunyoro, a very great place in the heart of Uganda. Now, journalists, there is a saying which says, even a journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. It is my view and belief that what we are doing here is the single step that we want to achieve out of the 1,000 miles that we need to do.
Yes.
We get out there, share the story in our own way, small way, whether it is by writing, whether it is by video, whether it is by talking. But I still believe that TGM Radio is UK is still one of the platforms that I have seen, as far as I'm concerned, that is taking Bunyoro at heart. And thank you so much. Continue with your good work. But at the same time, you as TGM try and get in touch with local people and sensitize them, sensitize the local journalists back home there. Try and get in touch with the media houses. For example, if I were you, on top of my head, if I were you, I could call a press conference.
Okay, press conference.
In Uganda, in Kampala, not Bunyoro, in Kampala, because that's where the stakeholders are. People who can listen, people with money. Call somewhere a press conference, maybe at Tropicana. Launch your thing, your foundation that you are doing. Launch it and make sure that all the important stakeholders, including the king's representatives, even if the king comes down there, because you said he's a man of development.
Yes.
Now we should have like the 10 points program that today we are launching this thing. But what we want to do is to build a university, maybe build an orphanage, maybe build water, maybe do that. That is the thing that you will take to sponsors and other stakeholders who listen and say, this is a good story, I should get involved in. But when we start talking about Bunyoro in our small communities and circles, it does not help. But if I was in your position, go maybe to Tropicana Hotel or somewhere else, get the journalists that you want. We can help you with that to get the journalist who can get this done, and then it comes on ITV, NTV, and Uganda TV, and all other media houses that we have. But we have to get them in one place.
Amazing.
So that they hear your story.
Amazing.
That's my. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Undugu wa Bunyoro, for those remarks. You've encouraged us to go for a press conference and invite and put it in Kampala, the capital of Uganda, and probably call all the stakeholders and invite all the media houses to make Bunyoro known across. And we are trying. Thank you so much for that advice. As a journalist, we are very privileged to have you and to give us that piece of advice. And just as we are about to leave air, we have only 7 minutes, but I'll get back to you before we go, so that you can you be preparing your conclusion remarks, so that when we are about to go, you will summarize. Just going to acknowledge our viewers again who have just tuned in. Wamani, Rosetti, thank you for tuning in. Rakasaija Akik in the US, thank you so much for joining us as well. Rajuna Tuoki, thank you. I can see people from Masindi have tuned in. Others from Hoima are also watching us. We are very privileged. How can we get the t-shirts? Wow. Lydia Kiza, thank you for asking that question. How do we get the t-shirts of Kabalega and Atenye Mpako Yange? They will be available on our website, BKDA website, and you can also put your contacts in our chat. Give us your number and tell us your size, and then we will order those t-shirts for you. Thank you so much, Lydia, for asking, Lydia Kiza, for asking about the t-shirts. Abandi abatuning in Joshua Mara mwebale kuhereza. Thank you for appreciating as well. Annette Kabanyoro, webale muno kubaha line. Margaret, thank you for tuning in. Judith Vigura very well said, we need to help ourselves with the starting points. Indeed, they are acknowledging your advice. One of our viewers, we need to start from our side, then we look for the external help. That is the Judith Vigura, one of our our viewers who is always online following us. So under that, Deborah Kakiza, thanks Akiki and Atenyi for encouraging us and telling the youth about Bunyoro. Someone from Uganda in Kampala is appreciating you. Thank you so much for advising and visiting our motherland. We really appreciate that. Any person who is interested in calling in, although we have 4 minutes to go, our telephone numbers in the studio are +44 77 54 5728 90. If you want to ask Akiki Ayubu, please call in and be able to speak to him. And as I said, we will be closing down soon, going off air. I've told you, we've heard from Akiki. He has advised us. He has told us so much about Bunyoro. And we are now going to show you the Masindi Hotel video, and then Akiki will return and give his closing remarks, and then we'll be off air. Thank you, our viewers. Masindi Hotel clip. Thank you.
As part of our journey through Uganda, we are now in Masindi. Masindi is one of the towns which are kind of in the middle part of the northern part of the country. But what is very important is that this is the town where actually oil has been discovered. But what is important here is that we're here as well to check out the facility of Masindi Hotel, which is one of the best hotels in town.
AYOB AKIIKI. I'm the hotel manager. Masindi Hotel was built in 1923. Masindi is famous. It has hosted very, very high-profile dignitaries like Ernest Hemingway's.
Ernest Hemingway's.
Yes, he was involved in 2 plane crashes, one in Murchison Falls and one in Butiaba, and this is where he stayed. We also had, when they were Catherine Bogart, when they were doing the African Queen, they also stayed here when they were filming it.
Hello, viewers. Right to Masindi Hotel. I was right. It was built in 1923, and it is the oldest hotel we have in Uganda. Mzee Akiki was there. He interviewed. I'm sure that was the hotel manager, was he? Yes. So
Yes, yeah.
yeah, so he interviewed him, and you've heard, as our viewers and listeners, you've heard what Masindi Hotel, how important Masindi Hotel is. Actually, from this show, I am so intrigued, and I just want to go to Masindi. When I happen to go back to Uganda, one of my dreams, I'll call it a dream, because I had never known Masindi Hotel is that important and how powerful it was. I have to go and have a sleepover in Masindi Hotel. And our viewers and listeners and friends of Bunyoro, please, when you come to Uganda, Bunyoro in particular, make sure you visit Masindi Hotel. Nkakiki, nkobwatugambire how important that hotel is. Hati Akiki. Kuma rafiki wa Bunyoro na waundishu wa habari. Could you give us closing remarks, please? I don't know whether my Swahili is right.
Yeah, you didn't get it right there, but let's round this up.
Yes.
Dear Bunyoro watching this program and watching me, my name's AYOB MZEE. I just wanted to say I'm a friend of Bunyoro and I love you so much.
Yes.
Bunyoro is a great place in the hearts of people, in the hearts of history and the heart of the world. You have a very great place that needs development. Development, you should not wait for outsiders to come and develop this place for you. Development starts from you.
Amazing.
And I'm happy that TGM is taking this initiative. All I want to say, I am because you are. And since you are, therefore I am. Ulipo tupo. Thank you so much.
Asante sana Akiki, Mzee Akiki. We are very privileged to have you on TGM, and thank you so much for those words. They are words of wisdom, and one of our viewers has actually commented, Margaret Seki, you're a very intelligent man and we should keep in touch. Amazing. We will definitely keep in touch with Mzee Akiki, as he's a friend, Undugu wa Bunyoro. He's with us and he has come to stay. He's going back to Bunyoro to be given a name and a wife. Start looking for a wife. Mutanike kuserulira Akiki omkyara owarasu habokuba akugaruka for good. Now, thank you so much with those closing remarks. We are going to go off air soon. I just want to, if the engineer allows me, just to appreciate all those who have tuned in. Betseki Alisima, thank you for tuning in. Immaculate Asimwe, thank you for promoting Bunyoro, especially Masindi. You're welcome, Immaculate Asimwe. And I want to say to all our viewers and listeners, we are sorry. One person was saying that this program should be for 2 hours. Abanyoro na Abanyoro-Kati. I'm going to speak in Runyoro so that people mumpule kurungi. Abanyoro na Abanyoro-Kati tukwenda sponsorship. Omurani mwenda program eno ebeho for 2 hours. You actually need to start sponsoring us, giving us money to pay TGM radio, because this is not our radio. We just have a show on TGM radio. So itwenkaira kali ya Bunyoro diaspora, we need sponsorship, and if we get this sponsorship, TGM radio, I'm sure, will be more than willing to host us for more than an hour. Niye your closing remarks yange, abatusabire tubeha air for 2 hours. We are looking for sponsorship, and you're more than welcome to chip in as you can. Inkomukuru akiki nkobwatu gambire, we have to help ourselves for other people to help us. When people see nje Abanyoro ba sponsoringire iraka lya Bunyoro diaspora, do you know what they will do? They will come on board and start sponsoring us. So nibyebye byange, mwebale muno kutuninga ini kandi nitubendeza weekend nungi. Omukuru Akiki, thank you so much for being with us tonight, and I'm sure we will invite you another time as a friend, Ndugu wa Bunyoro, and you will come back and talk more about Bunyoro. People have liked you so much because you've told us what we didn't know. So thank you so much. Asante sana. And we are very privileged to have hosted you tonight. Iraka lya Bunyoro diaspora, ninyowe Carolina Juna Atenyi, kandi ninyenda kubaijukiza next week tukugaruka no mutalindwa wa Bunyoro-Kitara orukurato na tandika series za omukama Kabalega, the greatest king we have had in Bunyoro. Kabalega lega. See you, and thank you so much for tuning in. Have a lovely week ahead of us, and bye.